In the world of PvP, there are 5 different civilizations. Or 4. 5? I don't know. Anyways, I've been to the Sword Civilization, and I have just now completed my journey to the Bow Civilization. But now, it's time to embark on a journey to a new civilization, which will be the Tridents. Prince Zam is probably on his way to take hold of the Eternal Trident, and Tabby might already be there trying to steal it. Oh man, I don't even know what to think of this situation. I mean, if both of those are true, the Axes will be fighting the Tridents there, and if I show up, they'll also try fighting me. Okay, yeah, it's safe to say I have zero clue on how to handle this situation, but if we're being honest, when have I ever had a plan? Anyways, let's just jump right into this. Stepping on this platform will send me directly to the Trident Civilization, where I'll be right in the middle of the action. Okay, is something wrong here? Why am I not teleporting? Is this one broken or something? How is that even possible? If this means I have to go through the main entrance and not get myself a room in the Trident Civilization, I'm gonna be very upset.
Don't tell me that's a diamond sword standing right there.
It looks like he's all by himself.
What do we do? We're supposed to be weakening the Tridents right now. We don't have time to fight this.
You go on ahead. I'll deal with this kid.
Just make it quick. I'll meet you at the Trident Civilization.
As I stood there on the platform, I heard the sound of footsteps rapidly approaching from behind me, and I could tell by the speed that this was someone eager to wipe me out, which means it was time to tap into all the movement training I completed at the Golden Sword level. Just as the player was right up on me, I quickly jumped to the side and dodged the swing of an axe. This is now the second run-in I've had with an axe in the outside world, and I could already tell that this one wasn't gonna be like the last. This was not a player looking for a conversation. This was someone who wanted me dead. The axes are supposed to be the most ruthless civilization of all, and I could tell by the look in this guy's eyes that he wasn't all the way there. The player with the iron axe charged me, and I decided to keep up my strategy of dodging the attacks. This player was only trying to land critical hits, attempting to deal massive damage, but I wasn't letting that happen. As soon as I found an opening, I fought back with my sword. It's hard to tell if this player was blinded by rage or the orientation of his eyes, but either way, this player's strategy for the fight ended with his death, and with me not suffering a single PvP attack. I gained back some durability by grabbing the iron axe, and I decided that staying out here in the open was probably a bad idea. My guess is that that player was on his way to the Trident Civilization, and if that's true, I do not want to stay around here if more axes are gonna pull up. I still don't get it. I wouldn't have had to fight that player if the platform to the Trident Civilization worked. I thought I had a good understanding of this whole center of the universe thing. I mean, a new player spawns, drops down, steps on the platform. Wait, what the? Just then, I thought I was about to get into another fight, but whoever this player was took one look at me and turned around and started running away. Was that a bow? What were they even doing here? Okay, well, I guess there's more than one bow alive. Not sure what to do with that information.
Get me out of here. Please get me out of here.
Sending Toph out there by himself was a bad idea. If he gets hurt, this is on you.
We need a sword to find this respawn power, and if we were to die, Toph wouldn't know how to rebuild an entire civilization by himself. Besides, he offered to go.
Then he better come back, because if he dies from this, you're gonna be rebuilding the civilization by yourself.
Okay, so using the platform to get into the Trident Civilization doesn't seem to be an option. I'm just gonna have to go through the front door, I guess. But with the amount of people I've seen, I'm definitely gonna need more resources if I want to survive for longer. Wembu, hello? Can you come over here? Water bucket, please. Thank you. Thankfully, Wembu was there to let me back into the Sword Civilization. I thought about telling all the Diamond Swords about the strange interaction I had with the mysterious Diamond Axe, but to be honest, I was running short on time. By the looks of it, the Axes were already on their way to the Trident Civilization, and I don't want to have a repeat of what happened with the bows. I bought 5 golden carrots and a flint and steel to prepare for my journey, a journey that could very well cost me my life in PvP Civilization. I told Wembu if I don't make it back alive, well, he gets full authority over the video journals. To be fair though, he was the only one in consideration for that role, given that no one else would voluntarily record video journals. Anyways, it's time to focus up, because I'm about to be putting myself in the middle of a battle between 2 civilizations that both want to wipe out the swords. I'll have to be prepared for anything, even if it means fighting my best friend.
This is our only chance. I only had enough attacks to afford 1 invisibility potion for this.
Then you better make it count. Use it to escape.
Yep, I'm not trying that ever again. I'm telling you guys, there's no way I'll have enough time to get a wooden sword. Are we sure we can't just go in through the front of the Sword Civilization?
This is the only way in, Toph, which means you'll have to go back out there and wait for a newborn wooden sword to spawn.
I mean, what if that guard is still here? That one that sticks with Evbo? Maybe he might help us get a wooden sword somehow if we pay him enough.
Toph, I know you're scared, but it's time to face reality. We don't have much of a choice here.
I actually just don't get it. I don't get how someone can be so unintelligent. It blows my mind. Out of everything, he puts his sword in the item frame?
An item frame? What does that mean? Guys, you might want to check this out.
I walked through the valley until a massive structure formed in the distance. Blue coloring on the walls, a cascading waterfall out in front. Yep, this was definitely the Trident civilization. And luckily for me, the giant door to enter the civilization was wide open. However, that fact alone means that this civilization isn't afraid of outsiders. The door being open doesn't just help me though, because that means if the Axes got here before me, they would already be inside. At this point, I just have to be prepared to fight anything. I got to the top of the waterfall and walked through the giant opening into the Trident civilization. Before seeing this, I thought the pool in my PvP mansion was the coolest thing ever. But now that I was standing on a trident-shaped rock that was practically in the middle of an ocean, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about how much it might cost to move here. Then, I had to quickly remind myself that I did not have time to get distracted by really cool architecture, because I have a job to do, and that's find the Eternal Trident before Tabby or Prince Zam gets to it. I came to the unfortunate conclusion that I probably wouldn't get to visit the PvP marketplace in the Trident civilization, which really made me sad because, well, you know me, I would just buy anything, really. But for now, paying 3 PvP attacks to open doors is, I guess it's kind of like a purchase. Alright, I'm not happy about it, but it does the job. I found myself in another room not knowing what to expect, but all of a sudden, I heard the sound of a player taking damage and someone flew into the water below me. It was an iron axe, and he immediately started attacking me as soon as he saw me. I hit him away and jumped down into the water. I know I said I had to be ready to fight anything, but this encounter made me realize I was not ready at all. At the end of the day, I don't want to fight these people, but at this point, I realized that simply wasn't an option. I swam up onto a platform where I saw not the axe I was fighting, but a trident. The player charged me, and my first battle against a trident had begun. Prince Zam's plan to escape the sword civilization hinged on the fact that I've never fought a trident before. But after the throw of a trident knocked me in the water, leaving me at 2.5 hearts, I realized it was a wise choice not to fight Prince Zam. Tridents were strong, much stronger than I anticipated. Even with my increased resistance as a diamond sword, it seemed like that trident just tore right through me. Luckily, I made it out of that room in time to regenerate some health, but I do not like the fact that I've been in this new civilization for all of a couple minutes and I've almost died.
So first Prince Zam shows up, then the Axes show up, and now a sword. Give me a break.
Whatever that room was definitely seemed like a dead end, and I was back in the main room with no leads on where to find the Eternal Trident. That was until I saw the axe I was just fighting, and he was swimming down towards something at the bottom of the ocean. I swam after him, and when I got to the bottom, I stumbled upon some sort of underwater tunnel. Now, I know I'm no expert at PvP physics or whatnot, but this tunnel definitely seemed like it defied the laws of nature. Even with all the openings, it seemed like some invisible force was just stopping the water from flowing in, making for a breathable hallway at the bottom of an ocean. If I had to take a wild guess, I would say this is a more promising lead to the Eternal Trident.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
I walked down the hallway not knowing where I was going. I didn't even have a solid idea of what my plan was, but as I turned around to see an iron axe lunging towards me, I realized that my plan was quite simply to survive. The longer I survive, the higher chance I have of finding the Eternal Trident. If I find the Eternal Trident again, then there's a higher chance I have of seeing Tabby again. And if I do find Tabby, well, then there's a chance I finally figure out what she plans on doing with the Eternal weapons. Right, so survive long enough to get answers. That's basically what my plan boils down to. I won the battle against the Iron Axe with 2.5 hearts. Thought Purple would have put up more of a fight, to be honest. And I was down to my last 3 golden carrots. With the way these PvP battles have been going, it's looking like I'll only have enough food to survive a few more fights. Unless I can miraculously fight like Foray does, that is, not take any damage from a fight. But I don't see that happening in the near future. So, for now I just gotta be smart. Whatever this place in the Trident civilization was, seemed to be a confusing network of hallways that went in all different directions. Now more than ever, I had to be cautious about which armor stands I choose to hit, because if I open the wrong door, well, someone might just be waiting for me on the other side to take me out. I actually like the fact that there's armor stands everywhere. Maybe I should make it a goal to hit them all. No, why am I thinking like that? Speaking of opening the wrong doors, when I walked into the hallway, an iron axe came charging in from the other side. This is now the second iron axe I've seen down here, which leads me to think this is definitely the place where the Eternal Trident is. Why I've only seen iron axes and not Tabby Tabby or the other diamond axe is another question in itself, but I came to the conclusion that that might actually be a good sign. The axes might be sending in their lower level players to weaken the tridents for players like Tabby and the other diamond axe. Just a theory at this point, but if that is their game plan, then that means I'm not too late this time, and they haven't found the trident yet. But after I walked into another hallway and saw a trident on the ground, I realized I was running out of time. The axes were wiping out the tridents in numbers, and soon enough, Tabby would be here to get what she was after. Knowing her, she might already be here. For all I know, she could be standing in the exact same spots where I was standing in, and fighting in the same hallways I fought in. I know this sounds crazy, but I kinda just wish I would open one of these doors to see Tabby standing there. With everything she's done, and everything she wants to do to the swords, I shouldn't be feeling this way. All I am to her is her enemy, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't stop myself from hoping that every PvP attack I paid, every corner I turned, and every hallway I ran through would lead me back to my best friend.
So, looks like kicking you out of the civilization once wasn't enough. If you're after the Trident again, I can assure you, I won't hold back this time.
I ate my last golden carrot as I stared down the hallway to the sight of something different. There was running water covering the door, and when I walked through it, I was in a room that broke the pattern of endless hallways. By the looks of it, I would guess this is the room where an eternal trident would be kept. Alright, I guess it's time to go find out if it's still here or not. Let's hope for the best. Things were kind of a blur after that. Honestly, if I didn't log it into my journal right away, I probably would have forgotten what exactly happened. A few journals ago, I said I didn't know what I would do if I saw Tabby again. I'm bringing that up because when I heard someone come through the waterfall, I was getting ready to fight until I saw it was her. And I didn't do anything. But I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay there, because in that short moment, Tabby stared back at me not as an enemy, but as a friend. It was a look that seemed like she was relieved to see that I was alive, and I wanted to savor it for as long as I could. I didn't get it at the time. I didn't get why she sent me back to being a wooden sword. But then I remembered I was seconds away from being erased from this world forever. And that was when I realized she saved me. She swung her axe at the last second, and because of that, I could respawn. I woke up back in my room not knowing what to think. Confused? Definitely, but more so sad. There was a lot of things that I wish I could have said to Tabby before I died. At the very least, I would have wanted some answers about what she wants to do with the eternal weapons. But now I just have to hope she makes it out of there alive, because she's stuck in there fighting Prince Sam with an eternal weapon. And I know she's much more capable at PvP than I am, but PvP Civilization is unpredictable. In our world, I've realized that it's not just your PvP abilities that determine whether you can survive or not. It's your ability to be adaptable in any situation. Prince Zam and Tabby both outsmarted the swords and I without using PvP at all. I know I'm dragging this, but point is, I don't know if this is a fight Tabby will win. And the worst thing about this is I couldn't even make it over there in time if I wanted to. So I can't do anything. I just have to hope she makes it out alive. Well, I know this one has been pretty sad. I'll try to change the mood around for the next one. Alright, signing off.
I can do this. I can do this. I just gotta survive long enough to figure out anything I can about this respawn power. No, you know what? I can totally do this. After all, I am a diamond sword now.
Alright, we are back with another video journal update. Now, at this point, I know whoever's watching is probably like, no way this is a back-to-back journal update, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that's exactly what this is. And I did say I would improve the vibes for the next one, so here we are. Anyways, we haven't had a good video journal breakdown in a while to really digest everything that's happened in PvP Civilization recently. That's why for this one, I convinced the whole crew to make an appearance. A lot of pressure this time, because I gotta show everyone how incredibly important these video journals are. Let's get to it. The encounter I had a bit ago with the Diamond Axe left me, well, very confused. He told me it wasn't my time to die. Any thoughts on what that's supposed to mean? Anyone? No? Looks like I'm muted. Alright, guess I'm solo speculating this time. That could mean the axe wants to use me for something first. What that might be, I'm not really sure, but all I know is that he had the Eternal Axe and chose not to erase me from this world. Moving on to the Trident civilization, Tabby could be fighting Prince Zam as we speak, but the fact that both of them have eternal weapons raises the question, what happens to an eternal weapon when someone dies with it? Okay, now we get to the last part of this journal, which is why I kind of brought everyone here. After a lot of near-death experiences recently, I realized the importance of having the ability to respawn, which is why I'm proposing all 5 of us diamond swords share the respawn power. Now that we know there's a way back up to the wooden sword level from the outside, all of us can use the armor stand.
No, the respawn power isn't for us. Epvo will be the only one allowed to have it.
Wait, what? No, what do you mean? Wait, what? Why? Okay, this did not go the way I thought it was gonna go, so signing off?
It's decided then. None of us will be sharing this respawn power. As for the eternal weapons, I find it strange that this is now the second time Tabby has spared you. Whatever her motives are, I still think there's a slight possibility of changing her mind.
Maybe, but wait, are we not gonna talk about what is going on? No one wants to respawn? I don't get it. Julie, help me out here. Why in the world would Foray say no to something like that?
Foray rarely speaks, so I can promise you he must have a good reason. But at the end of the day, none of us need a good reason to trust him. Foray is by far the most skilled out of all of us. I'm sure you've recognized that already. Before you got the power, he did exactly what you did to become a diamond sword. He figured out he had to break his sword on the armor stand, which led to him helping Wembu, Minitek, and I rank up. Back then, he had no reason to help us out, but he did anyways. So, even if you might not agree with his logic, we trust him all the way.
No, you see, that still doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, what could possibly be the downside of having you guys share the respawn power with me? Actually, you know what's even more strange is the fact that Foray had the respawn power himself. I can't think of a single reason as to why someone would give up the power of immortality. When did he get rid of it?
That, I don't exactly know.
What do you mean you don't know? That seems like a pretty big thing to know.
Do you think we would ask Foray every single time he dies if he has the respawn power? Obviously not.
Well, now you see you probably should have been asking.
But, thinking about it more, he must have given it up after he broke his sword, since I've never seen him die.
Wait, if you've never seen him die, do you think he's lying about not giving up the power?
What would he gain from lying about something like that?
I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, answer me this. How did he get so good at PvP?
I mean, you've gotten significantly better, haven't you? Both of you use your respawning ability to your benefit. You probably just use it differently than he did.
Wow, way to call out my shopping sprees. I guess that kind of makes sense. Foray must have been solely focused on getting better at PvP every time he died and respawned. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Don't worry about us. We can take care of our own without the respawn power.
I know you guys can. I just want to help.
I know you're here. Why am I still alive?
Because I'm allowing you to stay alive.
What do you want from me?
I want you to give up the respawn ability. Better yet, let me rephrase. If you don't give up the power, I won't let you respawn.
Why?
You, Foray, believe that one's PvP ability is the only metric that determines whether someone should live or die in this world. You and I are alike in the sense that we both share that philosophy. But the world doesn't need that right now. So you're gonna give the power up. And I will see to it that this power finds the right person.